After show beginning. And why don't we listen to me? Where am I at? Here we are.
Guess that's what we all want, Rachel Cruz. For good advice that you learned in her youth. Talk about friendly to shows up how to be millionaire. Love yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. Guess that's what we all want, Rachel Cruz. Guess that's what we all want, Rachel Cruz. Mentioning Winston,
Mentioning Target.
guess that's what we all want, Rachel Cruz. Mentioning Winston, mentioning Target. Guess that's what we all love, Rachel Cruz. All right.
Alrighty, let's do a reload here. Make sure we're running all right and get the show number 241 today. 241. What up, Matty Bags? Matty Bags, you ready to sing? That, and click on that, and then I click on this. Listen for the drum taps. Like all plans, it starts with step one. $1,000 emergency fund. Step two, you pay off all your debt. Except mortgage, we don't do that yet. So pay off your consumer debt. Every one of the charges, from smallest to largest. Baby step 3 is next. Full emergency fund of expenses. You stay gazelle intensive. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I coach, that's why I coach, and why I host this after show. If you don't like results you're getting now, you should do the baby steps. And if you like to have financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Step 4 is when you can take a breath. Go, let's gazelle and invest. Step 5, it's a save for your kids. No student loans at all for college. 6 is to pay off your home. Step 7, build your wealth and don't keep it all yourself. And you've lived like nobody else. Now you get to live large, and now you get to give large. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I coach, that's why I coach, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like results you're getting now, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Trumpet, take it home. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 live from Columbus, OH. It's the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. Here we talk about the Ramsey Show YouTube chat, and the people in it, and all things financial and whatever else I want to talk about. I'm your host, Coach Steve Money. I'm a certified Ramsey Solutions financial coach, and you can schedule a free consultation assessment at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. Link is at the top of the chat and in the video description below. You can email me about anything, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. You can reach me on Instagram. Add me on the gram. Coach Steve Money, no spaces. And if you'd like to donate to the channel so I can make it better, that's paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Great. Let's see, on a brand new show today. As always, delayed 2 hours from the live radio broadcast. Today's Ramsey Show hosts were Mr. Dave Ramsey, 7-time, actually 8-time now, #1 national bestseller. And they need to update that, because Baby Steps Millionaire was #1. Maybe it wasn't #1. I don't know. It was a national bestseller. He said national bestseller. I don't know if it got to #1 or not. I do not know that. So maybe that's correct then. But anyway, that's not the point. And his co-host today, we know this guy. His name is George Camel, and we watched him be the YouTube host for like ever, it seemed, and then all of a sudden one day it went away. Yeah, I messed up. Yeah. Here we go. Now George hosts 3 podcasts. They don't cost a cent. A borrowed future, entree leadership, and the fine print. Opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. Ayo wears ASOS and Deloney wears flannel. Used to, no one does it better than our guy George Camel. Pay his house off. He got a second dog, y'all. Still driving the same used car though. Yeah. And market report. Yeah. Let's see what happened today. Let's see. Wall Street Journal. Dow falls more than 400 points. Oil prices jump. Crude prices rise above 120 a barrel. S&P Nasdaq also retreat. Let's see what it says. As much as we can read it, U.S. stocks decline and oil prices jumped as concerns about rising energy prices, supply shortages, and inflation rattled investors again. Now, the investors are the ones that definitely need to turn off the news. And they just talk about how much it went down. Let's see. The blue chip index is 6.6% off the record close it hit on January 4th, and down 5.4% for the year. Speaking of, that's the Dow Jones I think they're talking about. All right, so that's not really too much information there. Let's see, small cap index, Russell 2000 small cap index is the most down, followed by the Nasdaq, which of course means whenever the market is down, that means Troy Story wins the fantasy mutual funds. What up, Hobbs? What up, Sid? And that's all I have to say about that. Let's see, we got any good news coming in the earnings calendar, perhaps? NIO, don't know what they do. Xpeng, don't know what they do. Lululemon Athletica, I've heard of them. Micron Technology makes circuit boards, I've heard of them. BioNTech, that would be a pharmaceutical company, I think. And of course, Walgreens. In the next, all that coming up in the next 8 days. Alrighty. Check the rest of the planet. Let's see. Europe all down. Asia mostly up. Currencies. Euro down against the dollar. Dollar down against the Japanese yen. Dollar up on the British pound, Louvre. Get some extra fish and chips. The Canadian dollar up on the US dollar. Surrey. About time. And the Australian dollar is up against the US dollar, mate. Let's check on our pals in crypto. Just Cardano up. I know a guy. Oh no, Dogecoin as well, but I know a guy that's going to be happy about that. Other ones down though, and of course, as usual, these do not stop trading at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, like the stock market. This goes 24 hours, dog. So strap in. What else did we? Oh, we didn't have anything. All right, let's see. From CNBC, mortgage refinance demand plunges 14% as interest rates spike higher. We thought this would happen eventually. Average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgages with conforming loan balances increased to 4.5% from 4.27%. And that's within the past few days that happened, or the last day even. Mortgage application to purchase a home fell 2% for the week and were 12% lower than the same week a year ago. Number of high quality refi candidates was already down more than 75% through last week. These latest jumps will likely cut that population even further. Yes, likely. High quality refi candidates. You can't just be some ne'er-do-well refi candidate, I guess. So I don't know what the difference would be. Maybe you're trying to get cash out. Maybe you're not a high quality one. I don't know what they would actually mean by that. I guess maybe the amount involved, perhaps. All right, let's see what we got from The Verge. Microsoft confirms lapsus the dollar. They might get signed. I mean, they might get sued by what's her name? Oh gosh, what can I? Kesha, for using the dollar sign as an S, an extra S there. Kesha might not approve. Anyway, they confirmed that group of hackers stole source code via limited access. They say they don't have the full code, but they have parts of the codes for Bing and Cortana. Yeah. Microsoft confirmed that the group has compromised a single account and stole parts of the source code for some of its products. Microsoft investigators have been tracking the group for weeks in details of some of the methods they've used to compromise victim systems. According to the Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center, Mystic, the objective of DEV 0537 is what they call those guys, actors. And they're not in a movie, they just mean people that are doing acts. Actors is to gain elevated access through stolen credentials that enable data theft and destruction attacks against a target organization, often resulting in extortion, tactics and objectives indicate this is a cyber criminal actor motivated by death, theft, and destruction. All right. Speaking of tech stuff, this from tomshardware.com. NVIDIA is in talks to use Intel as a foundry to manufacture chips. And that's very interesting for NVIDIA and Intel to go into business like that. So that's very interesting. I wonder if there would be a thing like where they would maybe come in and be the video on all the Intel motherboards, maybe. So you wouldn't like have Intel video anymore. It would all be NVIDIA, and it obviously would be, if it's built on the motherboard, it would be a lower type of chip. It wouldn't be like that expensive. You couldn't run all the best games on it just with onboard video like that. But that would be something that they could do. Let's see if they say anything like that. Looking. So at the chip layer, at the substrate layer, the system layer, at every single layer. We've diversified the number of nodes, we've diversified the number of foundries, and Intel is an excellent partner of ours. Okay. Intel now makes GPUs, and NVIDIA now makes GPUs, meaning the two companies will now compete directly in several market segments. I think they meant to say Intel now makes GPUs and NVIDIA now makes CPUs. GPUs are video cards, graphical processing units, and NVIDIA used to just make video cards, but now they are making CPUs as well. So I think they messed up there. And of course, as always, I'm available for proofreading for anybody that wants to give me money. All right, so it didn't say anything about them replacing Intel video. And yeah, Intel is making cards themselves, although I don't think they're making the top-end cards. All right, thought this was interesting from Life Hacker. What to do if you accidentally fill your gas tank up with diesel. It's difficult, but sadly not impossible to put the wrong fuel in your car. Here's how to minimize the damage. And that looks like it's I thought it might be a bigger nozzle or something like that, but it doesn't look like it. So what keeps it from going in there? Let's see. Price of gas rises. Everyone's thinking more about the fuel they put in their cars, but you probably already knew that there are usually two kinds of fuel available at your local gas station: gasoline and diesel. Both are refined from crude oil, but they're produced using vastly different processes and additives and are not in any way interchangeable. Many people will insist that misfueling isn't easy to do because pumps are color-coded. Diesel pumps usually have green handles, or at least clearly labeled, and diesel nozzles are larger than gasoline nozzles, making it difficult to fit into a gas car's filler neck. That looks about the same size to me. Maybe it gets bigger towards the end there. That's what she said. So, but that looks the same size as that one. Maybe it's the perspective on it that is messing it up. Maybe. Let's see. But the word difficult doesn't mean impossible. Despite these challenges, people do manage to misfuel their cars every year. Combination of stress, distraction, and determination is all that's required, though sometimes there are errors on the other end, as when a delivery truck pumps diesel into the underground gas storage tanks by mistake. However it happens, what does it mean if you put diesel in your gasoline-powered car? Let's see. Not all fuels are the same. Diesel and gasoline are very different. Diesel is heavier, has a much lower octane rating, and ignites in a totally different way. Gas has a distinctive smell. Diesel is much thicker than gas, which is a thin, watery substance. If you have any doubt about what you just pumped in your car, yeah, they left out the word what there. If you have any doubt about what you just pumped into your car, Life Hacker, I'm available for proofreading. Is a very, very bad idea. Let's see. Depending on how much diesel you pumped in there, you might drive the car for a short time before it starts to knock and sputter, but it will eventually stall. Driving the car after pumping in diesel is the worst idea because that distributes the diesel throughout your fuel line and engine, gumming everything up and requiring a serious effort to clean up. You don't drive it. Note how much diesel you just pumped in there. Call a mechanic. Let's see. Your gas tank needs to be drained and cleaned out. It's relatively easy, though it will make a crimp in your schedule and your wallet. All right. Could damage your car's cylinders. Buying $20 worth of diesel fuel by accident. Thanks for putting not on accident there. Can cost you a whole new car. Alrighty, fun time. Did a person have a comment? It seems like it would be easier to accidentally fill your diesel tank with gasoline because the smaller gasoline nozzle can fit in the larger dealer filling neck. Would it be the same problem if a diesel tank was filled with gasoline? Inquiring minds want to know. At this point, we don't know. They didn't cover that. And speaking of gas, this is from Fox 5. What is it? Fox5ny.com. Fox 5 New York gas price stimulus checks proposals headed to Congress. And as you can see, they got $6.99 for some regular here in the New York. Where is that? Oh, no, that's Fairfax and Olympic Boulevard in Los Angeles, California on March 8th. So that was a while back. Americans still in shock over jaw-dropping rising gas prices. A few proposals have floated around Congress and everywhere and elsewhere about offering some relief to drivers. Los Angeles on Tuesday became the first major city in the U.S. to reach an average gas price of $6 or more. That's according to Gas Buddy. Some proposals include a stimulus check, while others would tax oil companies. Americans could get $100 per month energy rebate. The Gas Rebate Act of 2022. Oh my goodness. I mean, I can't say what it is in these areas and how much it has gone up, but I mean 60 cents or so it's up right now, I think, than it was before it started going up. So I mean 60 cents a gallon. Is it that big a deal? I mean, I guess it's if you don't have debt, I guess it's not that big a deal. You just increase your gas budget for the month. But it would seem like there's far bigger deals for them to be worried about as far as money. To this reporter. Let's see. Americans feeling the impact of the pump of Vladimir Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine. It's illegal, is it? And right now, we must work together on common sense policy solutions to ease the financial burden that my constituents are feeling. And if we do this, then you'll think we're doing something and you'll vote for us, Thompson said in a news release. He didn't say that last part. That was, Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. She says no more taxes. She doesn't like them. The rebate follows the same phase out as the most recent economic impact payments, where $100 will be given for single filers earning less than $75,000 and phased out to $80,000. Other part includes $100 for joint filers more than 150,000 and phased out at 160,000. Oil companies could fund tax credit for Americans. That's another proposal. So, I mean, when you say they could do it, that means if the proposal gets any traction at all. Other relief measures being proposed outside Washington, okay? In California, Democratic state lawmakers announced a $400 gas rebate proposal for every taxpayer. The proposal would use $9 billion of the state's budget surplus to provide the rebate. They have a $9 billion surplus. All right. Well, I guess those taxes do add up over there in the Cali, which is expected to cover the 51.1 cent per gallon gas tax for 1 full year of weekly fill-ups with a car with a 15-gallon gas tank. All righty. According to WWLP, Governor Ned Lamont. It's Fred Sanford's son on Sanford and Son. You kids probably don't know that show. Ned Lamont of Connecticut has called for a holiday from the state's 25 cent per gallon gas tax, starting as soon as possible and lasting through the end of June. However, state lawmakers say the proposal is political theater and said they're looking for other ways to give people a financial break. Yeah, so that would seem to be the easiest thing to do, is to just not take the tax. So they lower the tax, and then, I guess, but that's probably not as good to some people as sending you a check with the government's name on it. And then you might be more inclined to vote for them, I guess, as opposed to you just going and it's cheaper. And a lot of people might not even realize why. All right. Slow news day. Not much going on. What am I trying to do new? Oh, nope. Trying to go to, we don't want a mix of tech support and Ramsey. Although that would be interesting. Dave Ramsey, there we are. And sort by new. Let's see what we got. Why some people say, 95 comments 8 hours ago. Why some people say Dave's method is intended to keep middle class people in the middle in class. I don't know why they would at all. Is the baby steps are the fastest way for somebody to build wealth. So the fastest proven way, anyway. Yeah, I don't know why they would say that. I don't feel the need to read any of those comments, though. Let's see. Discouraged. Good times for people like that, it seems. Dear Cotter. Just trying to stay motivated and becoming and maintaining debt-free life. I don't follow 100% of Dave and his team's advice. Well, maybe that's the problem. But very much follow in their debt-free guidance and watch his YouTube clips. Often I'm down to my last $35K in student loans and avoided a mortgage, but been tempted the past few years to pay down debt. That said, a generally good number of friends and family who piled on massive housing and car debt these past 5 years seem to be making out like bandits in this economy. How? They have massive house and car debt. Unless they manage to pay it off in that time. In the 5 years, I watched a couple close friends flip from house to house, each with huge mortgages they could barely afford, leveraging to buy rentals, max loans, without, all raking in huge windfalls as they now sell their properties. Yeah, you don't know the entire money story on friends like that, because they don't tell you the any of the downside there. Even some family I would always poke fun at for going crazy on a couple of Teslas, now selling them for considerably more than purchased new. And yeah, I mean, all that's made, you're just seeing the because you're discouraged and watching the news so much and stuff like that. So I mean, you're just looking out for stuff that will make you more discouraged and make you sad. Just feels like the cards are stacked against those who are conservative and don't want to be saddled with large debt in relation to income. So, but basically, you don't be jealous of other people. You don't covet what other people want, and you don't do a victim mentality. Dave talked about that on today's show. In the third hour, they had a Baby Steps Millionaire theme hour, and none of those people were Rhodes Scholars. I think they pretty much all worked their whole lives. Yeah, but so he talked about how he keeps hearing about people whining and so forth about it, and that's just victim mentality. And so for this person, I would advise you to try to break out of it. This plan works. You've seen it. You're like down to your last $35K in student loans, and so it works. He's got millions of documented success stories. There's other things. There could be a couple people that get lucky, just do things at exactly the right time and can like flip house to house. They can do that, but even Dave himself doing that, buying zero down house thing. That's how he went bankrupt. But of course, if that hadn't happened, he wouldn't be here to keep us from doing that dumb crap. So yeah, so it's just you got to not be a victim. No victim mentality. So good times for that's an Eeyore right there. Good times for people who like dead, it seems. Alrighty, this from Federal Banana. Interesting. What would Dave do, Flair? Anxiety about the dollar and savings. Maybe somebody else that has the news on too much. Have a significant amount in savings to buy a house in the coming years. There's a lot of arguments floating around online that the dollar will drastically devalue further soon. Should I be at all concerned about my money being saved for a house becoming useless the next few years before I buy a house? I'm sure this is a financially illiterate question, but I'm also somewhat ignorant to the topic and trying to learn. All right. Well, I mean, what do you suppose? Where is it? There's a lot of arguments floating around online. Okay, online is probably, it might even be worse than the news. There's a lot of arguments floating around online. Online is also where they told everybody to buy GameStop and AMC stock. And that did not work out well for many, many, many people. Many people lost lots of money on that. But yeah, so I mean, are they offering any solutions? I mean, it's not going to be gold. It's not going to be precious metals. What are you going to put it in? Crypto? I mean, if the dollar drastically devalues, I mean, that changes everything. So I think you got more problems at that point. So, let's just see if anybody had any better ideas to do to it. Dave says, if you're more than 5 years away from needing to use that money, it's okay to invest it. Absolutely, he says that. Ignore it all. Broke people like to give out lots of advice about how other people should handle their money. Don't overthink it. You're saving for a down payment. You need to keep it safe. So cash it is. A lot of arguments floating around online. Stop reading poor sources. Should have been all concerned about my money being saved in a savings account. You should be aware of inflation and what it does to currency and buying power. You should not be panicked. Not that you are. All right, let's see. I'm not risk tolerant. I'm also planning to buy at the latest in 3 years, probably in a year or two. So you don't put it in the market then. So to me, it makes sense you're holding 7. Yep. Okay. I-bonds are giving 7.12% right now. This person says, are you familiar with I-bonds? Most people aren't. They're an incredible savings tool to know about. Let's see. Perfectly reasonable approach. What can you control regarding inflation? Exactly. You need to control what you can control, and that includes how much house you buy. So you need to be paying more attention about what you're doing. Absolutely. Alrighty. Relatively young, late 20s, just a baby, so plenty of time. Whoops. Baby step 4 flare, extra 1K, how to use. Well, before I even start that, this is from Brown Pen. Any extra money you get from anywhere, you apply to whatever baby step you're on. Let's see. New to the sub, don't post a lot, would like some baby. Another context for the sub on baby step 4, 5, and 6. After paying all my bills and contributing to retirement, currently investing 15% of take-home income. A target date mutual fund 2050. Started in 09. That would not be a good thing to do. Left with extra 1K. I want to retire at 55. Take a penalty on my pension, but the projection is livable. The target date is still untouched and ongoing. What do I do with that 1K? Just store it in savings, start another Roth IRA, and invest it in a bond ETF. Start another Roth IRA and invest in another ETF fund. Expect to save 1K each month. Well, you would do, if you have a house, 6 is paying off your mortgage, so that's where you would, if you have kids, you would put some for that and some for that. If you're doing 15%, you're done with 4. If you're doing 15%, then that's all you do is 15%. So you would not invest it. You would put that on the house. But let's see, 8 comments. Let's see if you're following the baby steps. Yep, check it out. Down. Are you following David Ramsey or not? Steps are pretty self-explanatory. 15% saving, college savings, pay off your house. You already have baby step 4 done. Move on to the next. If that one is done, the rest goes on the house. Exactamundo. Bonds. No bonds, according to Dave. No bonds, and he doesn't like the target date because it's not aggressive enough. Losing out on money. Alrighty. I did this one. I did this one. Let's see. Started last year paying off debt with about $220 between a car and student loans. Since then, I've cut out about $700 a month in rent utilities. Sold my gorgeous Challenger for a beater. All right. Cut out eating out. Excellent. And I've gotten down to about $170K altogether in just a few months. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm pretty maxed out. I've got a great budget. I'm encouraged by my progress, but I want to see debt reduction even faster. What are some moves I may have overlooked? Working 3 jobs. You're not eating out. I think you're probably there. You could check the budget for anything else you have, like working 3 jobs, you don't have a lot of time to watch TV. So if you have multiple subscriptions, Netflix, etc., maybe cut that down to the one you watch the most. Gosh, let's see. I mean, you've done so much already. You can look around for like things that are worth anything that you're not using regularly, so that you like really don't need. See if they have any, if the commenters have any ideas on that. Take a long look at your spending. Even say $100 now. Yep. Do your own repairs. Eat beans and rice. Skip the coffees. Yep. So if he's on the coffees, get a roommate. I mean, that's possible. Started selling some of the stuff on eBay. Exactly. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody in with the warning, beginning 2022, if you sell more than $600 of items, then eBay will send you a 1099-K, which you will have to deal with on your taxes. Yep. Most around the house eBay sales are at a loss, and you should not be taxable, right? I didn't mention it, but in baby step 2, if you're contributing to any retirement accounts, you should pause those. Exactly. Didn't think about that. You can still have a life, so focus on free hobbies and events you can do around your city for $0. Boom, 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 boom. Sounds like you've done just about as much as you can do. Yeah. Melodic coffee. Regular commenter on this subreddit. Oh, can you replace 3 jobs with one that pays more on the side also? Or is the 3-job thing necessary given your experience level and pay in your field? That's good thinking. Time, patience is all you need now. Huh? So yeah, there may be things that you can do on there. Yep, Dave Wood asked what kind of degree you got for all that student loan debt, and if you're using it. Sometimes people aren't using it, but hey, you got to pay the stuff back anyway. And so it just wants to make sure you're using the degree if you can. Oh, comment deleted by user. I wonder what they might have put something stupid there and decided to not do that. What is it? Car insurance. Mine is Wicket High. Maybe me from Boston with the Wicket. And trying to see if my broker can find a cheaper rate. Yeah. Yep, $40 a month. Yeah. Right, state up north, insurance rates are crazy, and I don't know why. I don't know why, unless it's got something to do with the side in charge of the government up there. I don't know why it would be that much worse than just the state underneath it, Ohio. But it's a lot more. My daughter complains about that a lot. Let's see. Get a raise, promotion, eat even cheaper, cancel subscriptions. Mention that. Alrighty. Sounds like I mean, and that's one of the common problems doing the baby steps that people seem to have. It's when you get into a place where you're like not doing anything really to push the thing forward. Like you've already done all the stuff and you're continuing to do it, like by working the 3 different jobs, but even though you're doing it and so that's still helping, you're not doing a new thing right now that's going to push it even faster. So and that does happen, and that happens to some people all down the baby steps, not just baby step 2, baby step 3, but like even in 4, 5, and 6, it gets even worse because those things take a lot of time, and so you just have to sit and be grateful and chill out a little bit in those times when you do that. But some people have a hard time doing that. They're like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You know, still in that mindset. A Dave-ish question on 4, 5, and 6 by Dinking King 11. Wife and I 31, currently on both are 2017 cars outright with 40K mileage on each. Paid off a 100K balance in student loan debt almost a year ago. Excellent. And we, never have carried any other consumer debt and never plan to. 5K in 10-month-olds, 529 plan, 15-year mortgage, $1,500 a month. Houses worth 270-ish, have 170 left. 25% goes to Roth 401k. All right. Yeah, that's pay the house off instead of doing that. So that's the Dave-ish part, I guess. Up until then, you were fine. That extra 10% should be going to the house instead, if you're going to follow Dave's advice. HSA is maxed, combined employer contribution, 10-month emergency fund. That might be a little too much, but you know, again, I know that's a little different than Dave's. Yeah, but we want to do more saving for the future now and stay focused on hammering the mortgage. Where you're not, if I see, want to do more saving for the future. So I guess that would be the 25% going to the Roth. And so the problem with that is the reason it's only 15 is so that you can hammer the mortgage. You're hammering less by putting that 10% extra into the Roth 401k. All right. Even with maintaining the above savings plan, we budgeted out to finish the mortgage in 4 years. Okay. I mean, he probably wouldn't kill you over that, I get that Dave says you need to pay for your next house in cash. Yep. But what's the main issue with rolling now you're definitely being ish there. Into a new mortgage on a home that, right. Because are you going to just keep going up in house forever and keep rolling it in? Like it's a freaking car you're upside down on? Just rolling in the next house? We'd likely be able to pay that new mortgage in 4 years as well, but I can't find a Dave video with a similar question. That's because nobody else has thought about rolling it into the next house loan and going up in house that quickly each time. So, yeah, don't do that. Not a good idea. I don't know why you need to. What's wrong with your house now? Oh, let's see. Did we? I think we did that one. Braveheart sample in the debt free. Anybody else knows Mel Gibson's Freedom line just after people make their DFS? Wondering how much Ramsey Solutions paid for that. They might not have to pay anything for that. Because it's just like 2 seconds of it. And so I don't know that they would have to pay for that. Just because it's that one word, it's just a few seconds. And so I don't know. I don't know if they do have to pay for that or not. Interesting. Let's see. I think we did that one from Rome. We keep changing our minds. Yeah, another person with a house. Or do nothing and try to buy a forever home. No such thing. And so they're changing houses back and forth again. Every dollar, scam or no scam? Dave Ramsey preaches to the nth degree about saving your money, yet it appears his money-saving app costs a yearly fee or monthly fee. Oh, that's because it has to do transactions to sync with your bank. He proposes people be frugal and budget your income, yet he also expects you to pay $130 a year to use his application. You don't. You can get rid of the bank syncing and use the free version. All right, it's free to connect your bank account. So yeah, that's up to you. You don't have to do that. You can use another. You don't have to use every dollar either. 150. That's from certain astronaut 496. 158K in student loan debt. Help. First time poster here. My wife and I have a household income of 82.5K a year after taxes. Oh, that's net. Okay. And our only debt now is 158 student loans. Our rent is around $1,400 a month, including utilities. I was an idiot and chose to go to out-of-state school, and now I'm done carrying the debt. Any advice on how we should attack this as quickly as possible? Well, you cut expenses as much as you can. You work as much as you can. So, I mean, that's basically the same deal I was talking about before. You look at the budget and see what you can cut out. You work as much as you can, and it's just a hashtag season. It's just until that 158K is gone and you have your full emergency fund saved. Yeah, so nothing, out of the ordinary about that. You just do common baby step 2 stuff. And let's see if we want to do one more. We might have done some of these. I think we did all of these. Yep, the ones that are in light blue are the ones that I've clicked on before, obviously. Ramsey solution turnover. How long does the 9 compete with Ramsey solutions? AO was doing the same stuff immediately. So, don't know. Hogan was doing the same stuff, not immediately, but he was on his YouTube channel or on somebody else's YouTube channel. He was working with them, something like that. I can't remember. I did see him on there. So yeah, 56 comments on that. Of course, people like to get in on that. New York City housing question, and you don't get a pass because it's New York City. You don't get a pass with the math. 160K a year. So, I mean, that's more than the average person makes. So, baby step 4, have 0 plans on having children, happily in Brooklyn, New York. All right. I'm buying property right now, and I'm very heavy-handedly saving for a down payment. Okay, great. So much that after maxing out my Roth IRA, I'm moving my pre-tax 401k allocation into a down payment savings account. Okay? Since New York is expensive, that doesn't matter. Should I buy a significantly cheaper property nearby and turn it into a rental? No. Or should I save for a condo? You don't become a landlord because you're trying to find a better place for you to live just because you live in a high cost of living area. You live within your means. Trying to become a landlord like that you're asking for trouble. I mean, I know some people like really get into it and they're like, yes, I want to be a landlord. I want to have a rental property. And that's a different thing, but a lot of people just like see the housing shows, the flip shows on the TLC or wherever they are, and they get that in their head that they can do that, and and he's 35 years old, I mean, is that millennial? I think it is, and they hear of other millennials doing that kind of thing, and but that's the same thing as if you're in the military and you buy a house somewhere and then 2 seconds later you get pushed to some other base, and then you're like, oh well, okay, I'll just keep this and I'll I'll be a landlord long distance. And so you weren't going to be a landlord. You weren't trying to be a landlord until the Army moved you somewhere else. So that's not a good time to be a landlord, I don't think. So, and probably the same case in this case here, so I don't know. The main hesitation I have with buying in New York City is it seems like you will always be able to rent a place that is nicer than you can buy in this city, and with HOA fees on top of it, doesn't really seem worth it. Ideally, I'd like to so it doesn't sound like you're gung-ho about being a landlord. It seems like it's trying to be an ends to a means to afford a better house or condo or whatever you're getting in the New York City. You don't get a pass for the high cost of living areas. Alrighty, so upcoming streams in about an hour. I will be continue playing a game called In Sound Mind. I got stuck the other day, and I started it up after that. Like I think the next day, started the game up, and because I thought, well, I'm just looking at the same stuff over and over again, trying to figure out what to do. And I walked around about 10 minutes the next day in the game and figured out, I wasn't doing this correctly. And so I'll be all ready to go. So I'll be playing that. And so I didn't actually do that. I just figured out what to do. So I didn't do the thing. Wednesdays, no set time. Curse of Oak Island, no cap recap. And I posted that about 6 a.m. this morning. So that is up if you're into the whole Oak Island thing. That is up. And there was no Beyond Oak Island this week. But there was another, there was some kind of lost ice ship or something like that was found. I'll take a look at that and see if that's anything interesting. And I may recap some other History Channel shows, especially when Curse of Oak Island goes on hiatus. I think it'll probably go through at least April or May. If they do next week is episode 20, and they may stretch it out to, I think they had 26 episodes last year, so they could make that go into May if they wanted to. Let's see. I forgot to look at the chat. Sorry about that, ladies. Personally, I have no issue with the idea of taxes. That's it. I do have a huge problem with misused taxes. Julia is like with another stimulus check. Yeah, not a good use in my opinion. That's what Good Morning Julia says. Agreed. That's just wealth redistribution by another name. Yep. Go to the rice and bean one. That looked interesting. Oh, I had done that one before. Oh, no, that wasn't. I think that was just asking for recipes, and I don't have any. So it's reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey Julia if you would like to find that one. And perhaps you have some rice and bean recipes that you could provide for them. But yeah, I don't have any of those, so that's why I didn't do that one, because it was a money question. It was just about recipes, I think. All right, Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Tech Support with Coach Steve Money. And I was sick Monday, so I didn't do that, but I did it last night, and also came away with I'll show you in a second. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This show, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends. I did the tech support with Coach Steve Money last night, and I came up with. Well, where are they? Oh, I see they're all split here. I don't know how it organizes the latest ones. But let's see, if we go to the computer section, it gave me, I did 3 different highlights from that show last night. How to use Windows Event Viewer, Speed up your computer / disable startup program. Showed how to do that. Very simple. And also how to download the Windows 11 or 10 media creation tools so that you can do repairs with those of your operating system if you have corrupt files and such. And you can do fresh installs from that flash drive that you make with the media creation tool. And that's not something you buy. You can just have that. They let you download it. Alrighty. Good morning, Julia. So once more, I am Steve Simpson, also known as Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you have money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free consultation with me. And you can click this link on the right side of my YouTube banner here, or it's at the top of the chat, or it's in the video description below. And that'll take you to calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You click on financial coaching. You click on the day you want. You can change the month. Click on the day you want. And the day I like to use here is May the 4th be with you. And you can pick the time you want. And Calendly will let me know about that, and we will make that happen. I will email you back the information I need to accurately assess you. PayPal, that's for donations. PayPal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can email me. Julia, good morning. Julia hasn't emailed me yet about singing the Baby Step song, but hopefully that will be forthcoming from her. So look forward from that. And so if anybody else would like to sing the Baby Step song, either live or pre-recorded, either way is fine. We can make that happen. Instagram is Coach Steve Money, no spaces. And I think that's it. Let's see if we got another. We did not, but that's okay. Did not lose any either, so that's a good thing. Alrighty, make smart financial decisions every day.